Hey guys, I'm Sophia Parola with Garden State Film Festival, and today I am interviewing the people behind the making of the short film Love All. So congratulations guys, having your film accepted into Garden State.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you.
really exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting. I'm so happy I got to talk to you guys today. So I'd love for you both to introduce yourselves and the title in this film, starting off with you, Roux.
So I'm Roux Tabor. I'm the writer, director, and co-casting director for Love All.
And I'm Annie Fleisch. I'm the editor, assistant director, and script supervisor, and also co-casting director for the film.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Roux, I'd love to have you just give a little synopsis. What is Love All about?
Yeah, so Love All is a day in the life. It is about two divorcees who are kind of navigating their way through selfishness and the competitiveness that comes with being divorced as a parent. And it takes place at their son's tennis match.
Awesome. I love that. I just now, because I saw the film and I really enjoyed it. And I think it's so cool when people manage to make a really good film in one location, especially after one day. I think that's really cool. I have to commend you for doing that. And what you just said, that two divorcees in competition, and it's interesting that it's set in like a very competitive location. That's so cool. I'd love to ask you, how did you come up with this idea? What was your inspiration for writing this film?
Well, I am an only child of divorce. My parents were never to the extent of these parents, they're a little bit more of characters than my real parents. But just I've always loved tennis too. So I think it was just an amalgamation of being a child of divorce and seeing the parallel between the two competitive natures of the sport and then the, trauma of divorce, I think was
Absolutely.
inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a child of divorce too, and it definitely was very relatable. And everyone has a different story about it, but it's interesting. I love that you took that challenge on. I'd love to ask you both, Annie. I'll just start with you to hear from you. What was the process like of, casting for the actors and putting this film together, and the editing process? What was the entire process like for you?
Yeah, so casting was fun. Obviously, we made this film before COVID and everything, so there was a lot more freedom with the whole filmmaking process, but casting was fun. This is a student school project, so we did that at an available studio at our school, and we had a lot of possible contenders, but it really came down to who encapsulated the emotions that Roux really wanted and who also had the right connection that Roux wanted as well. And filming it was also a bit, it was fun. It was a journey, I would say, because we had to do it at night since the tennis center would only let us film after hours. I think that's something Roux might be able to touch upon more. But the editing process was really, really fun. I worked really closely with Roux editing it, and we really tried to keep the balance of the cuts and everything, but also maintain the strong emotion of the two characters and the whole theme, as you said, of the competitiveness and the competitiveness of the parents and both of them wanting to be the better parent. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge to achieve that, but I think we definitely did.
I agree. I definitely think you guys did. I'm happy you met the goals you were hoping to get. And Roux, I would love for you to talk about the location, like Annie mentioned, and how your process was, seeing something that you wrote right in front of your eyes and then seeing the final product.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that seeing what I wrote come to life was through the actors. This is a real script meant for actors, it's not as action packed necessarily as other films. It's very dialogue heavy, I would say. So the fact that we found these, the actor and actress, Dan Goldring and Lindsay Wirch, they just were perfect. They felt like a divorced couple and they really got along great in real life. And with the tennis center, I was very lucky because my best friend is a receptionist at the tennis center. I had a meeting with, the manager and owner, and that went well. And then we got the location and everything worked out perfectly because there was a lot of passion put into pre-production. I think that was the big strength of the film, was the pre-production side of it. That paid off in the end.
Thank you. And you guys were mentioned, Annie, I think you mentioned that you guys were in school together. This was a student film. How did, yeah, what made, was it a student film? I'm mistaken?
Yeah. Or do you want to talk about it, Rue?
Sure. Yeah, we both go to the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. We're both film majors, both directing concentrations. So we had a final project. We could do it on anything we wanted. We had a very open-minded teacher. And this was the film that came out of being able to write and direct whatever you wanted. Yeah.
And I think although it was technically an assignment, it was definitely something that, like as Roux said, everyone that was involved, especially in pre-production, was really passionate about it, especially since we're all studying film and we all love it and we all wanted to do it. I'm sure this is something we could have done even if it wasn't an assignment, like easily. And we actually shot it right when we got sent home last March. So there still was a lot of passion in it, even though we were kind of spread out now and we weren't in the city.
Great. Wow. Oh, and how did you guys hear about Garden State Film Festival? Why did you want to submit this to Garden State, and what does it mean having your film premiere here? Roux, let's start off with you.
Yeah, both me and Annie have prior relationship to Garden State. I volunteered in high school as just a ticket ballot taker because I wanted to do film since I was in 8th grade. So I knew I always wanted to work at film festivals, just make my way up any ladder I could in film. So that's how I knew about it, was because I volunteered. Annie has a little bit of a different story, but
Yeah, I actually created a film with some of my classmates my senior year of high school, and we submitted it to Garden State because I think our teacher in high school was very friendly with someone who runs Garden State, so that's how we heard about it initially. And then when we finished the film, we submitted it, and it actually won the, what was it? The honorable mention award in the high school category. And I think it was 2018 or no, 2019, sorry, 'cause it was March. So it was in 2019. So yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. That is so awesome. That's
Thank
such a
you.
great, like that. That's awesome. And on
Thank you.
Roux, that's so cool that you started off as a volunteer and now here you are having your film premiere here. I love to hear that. That's so cool. You guys mentioned that you made this just before the pandemic kind of hit and everyone had to stay home. I love just, I mean, number one, that's great timing that you guys were able to film this right before it got very crazy to film. And just as students, as filmmakers and lovers, how have you guys been staying creative and afloat during this crazy time?
well, I definitely think it's been difficult during this time compared to before. But like it's because we both have such a love for it, that creativity and that ambition will never stop. Right now I'm working on a documentary that I'm directing and producing, that we're going to film in March with all COVID regulations and being as safe as possible, but the creativity never dies no matter what's going on in the world. So this Love All was a very lucky film to get created right before the onset of everything. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Roux, and best of luck to you in filming this documentary. That sounds awesome.
Thank you.
And Annie, how have you been, staying creative and trying not to let what's happening outside, get to your creative juices?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have a lot of friends and other film acquaintances that are really passionate. So I've actually been fortunate enough to be on a few other student sets that have been following all the COVID regulations and guidelines. So they've all been very safe and all of that stuff. And actually, Roux and I are working on another project right now. Another short narrative piece that is also going to be following all of the COVID regulations and guidelines. And she's been helping me cast that. Roux is an amazing casting director. She's phenomenal. So yeah, and the script for that I've actually been working on since the summer. So it's definitely been keeping me super busy.
Wow, it's so inspiring and motivating to hear that you guys are like working so hard and just putting out work no matter what is happening. I love to hear that. And last question I have for you guys, I'm asking a lot of the filmmakers this. Not only, right now is it hard to make films and especially people to find the budget, and a lot of people are losing work because of what's happening, but just in general, you find in schools and in the education process, the arts are like always the first to go if they have to cut down the budget. And you guys are directing majors and in a film school. So I'd love to know why you think it's so important for people to continue to support and invest and make films, especially if they have the money to invest in films. Why is it so important for people to really support the arts? Roux, I'd start off with you.
I think film is the best way to understand other people. It's an amazing art form because of it. It plays with time and space, and it's just, I mean, I obviously have such a love for it, so I'm obviously going to be pro keeping, the arts and especially film, but I think it's able to be consumed by people that don't necessarily have the same passions to create it, and that's an amazing thing, for it to be able to connect with every single person in the world. There's not one person that's ever said, I hate movies. There's one movie somebody likes. And
Mm-hmm.
the people that are going to keep making them, and finding that audience.
Yes, well said. Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think film just connects everyone to and yeah, you can't connect to someone in, another country any other way, but you watch a film and you're connected. I love that. And Annie, I mean, yeah, what does film mean to you? Why should people really invest and support their time and money if they have it into the arts?
Yeah, definitely. Well, film is such a collaborative medium. I would say maybe one of the most collaborative mediums, and it's also one of the only forms of the arts, I would say, that actually is so reasonable and so tangible, and something everyone and anyone can really do if they're really passionate enough. And I think most people don't realize how reachable it is to actually pursue and actually do as a career. And I mean, if you think about it, you go to a movie theater and you see a movie, there's like 5 minutes of credits at the end, and those are all people, all names that are getting paid to do this job on the movie. And it's really incredible, and it's really underrated. And I know my high school, I went to Howell High School, and I was a part of the performing arts program there, specifically the entertainment technology branch, which we focused on filmmaking. And that was really where I grew my love and passion for it, and where I realized I wanted to pursue it. And last year they actually did face some budget cuts, and that was super heartbreaking for me and the other alumni to hear, because it's where personally I fell in love with it, like I said. So thinking about that other people might not get that chance like the way I did is scary, because it's amazing, it's so underrated. And I hope more people can really get the experience, especially in an academic setting.
Of course. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that like personal story. I know a lot of people from Howell High School, and I was in the same district, and definitely was when the arts are going, I mean, it affected a lot of people. And it's so sad to think that people can't have that initial love that might affect your whole life, going to college and your career if you don't have that. So thank you for that. Both wonderful words. I'm so happy to also what you said about a collaborative effort, and you guys are still collaborating in this film and still after. I can't wait to see what work you guys put out, and I hope that Garden State will always be on that list of the film festivals that you submit to, because we love
Definitely will.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations again. And anyone can catch Love All premiering at the Garden State. This is how. And it will be playing virtually at the Mayfair venue, Saturday the 27th, 1:30 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. during that block. So very cool. Everyone will have the freedom just to stay at home and watch this virtually along with amazing films. And congratulations again. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah, thank you.